Welcome back to the Adaptive Athlete Podcast, the place for stories of adaptive athletes in the CrossFit space and beyond. I'm your host, Matt Hotho. On today's episode, we're talking with Josh Robinson. Josh competes in the neuro minor category and was diagnosed with MS at the age of 23. In fact, of all of our competitors who compete with MS, he's had MS or his diagnosis for pretty long comparatively to most athletes. But that hasn't stopped him from setting big goals in the CrossFit space. In fact, a big one this year that you'll hear about a little bit later in our conversation. And you're going to get to hear about how he's coached, how he trains, and how faith plays a big role in his life. Check it out. Welcome back to the Adaptive Athlete Podcast. Today, I'm here with Josh Robinson. Josh, how are you doing today, man?
Good. Excited to be on the podcast. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm enjoying doing these, especially as we get closer to the games. It's fun to talk to athletes, see if their nerves are starting to set in, how their training's going. How's all that going for you?
Dude, it's been hard. Games training's hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that. I want hard workouts. I want hard training. Just been a grind, on that grind.
Yeah. If you were to think about one of the grindiest things you've done in the last couple of weeks, has there been any 40-minute EMOMs? Are you tapping into Matt Fraser's back pocket for any crazy ideas?
No, it's just an increase in the volume and the intensity. Like my coach will tell me it'll be a moderate to hard effort, and it usually just turns into a hard effort. Yeah. It'll be something on paper where I'll look at it and be like, oh, that doesn't seem too bad. And then 5-round workout, 2 rounds in, I'm sucking wind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Heart rate's through the roof. And
you're like, oh my gosh, I am a little bit more than halfway to halfway, but I still got some work to do.
Yeah. All right, well, guess we're going to embrace the suck on this one and just go for it.
Do you have a mathematical kind of mind in any way? Because I will if it's a 5-rounder, I'll be like, okay, I'm done with round 2. I am 40% of the way done. I'll be like, okay, cool.
Yep. And the thing that I also do that kind of, it's kind of like a curse to me. I'll count reps. So I'll also I'll see a workout and be 3 rounds. It's like a triplet of, and each movement has 12 reps. So in my head, I'm telling myself, okay, so that's 36 reps a round. Round 2, I'm at 72. Round 3, I'm at 108. All right, it's only 108 reps. And then as I'm going through the workout, it's okay, you've got 40 reps in. You've got 68 to go. And then I'm like, boy, that's going to be a long 68 reps, man.
That's going to take a while. And not all those reps are weighted equally, right?
No,
man.
Some of them you're like, okay, I can't wait till I get to that movement. And then the other ones you're like, oh, I have to do 12 of these. Just want to get through this as quickly as I can.
Exactly. Oh, man. So, Josh, you've been at the games how many years? How many years have you done this?
So I went to the Wheelwad Games in 2023.
Okay.
And then last year in San Antonio. So
awesome.
CrossFit 1 year, and then I went to the Wheelwad Games in 2023.
Okay, cool. Same as me. Mm-hmm. I love that. And you compete in neuro minor. I'm in neuro moderate. So
correct.
You're ideally kind of the way the classifications work is I have a little less power output based on my disability than you do, which is why you're in minor versus me in moderate, major, so on and so forth. But what's your condition?
I have multiple sclerosis, relapse remitting multiple sclerosis.
Okay. And how does one discover that they have multiple sclerosis, or what was your experience like kind of discovering that you had that?
Discovery was actually kind of due to some stubbornness. I was 23 years old, so this is 2013. Woke up one day before was completely normal. Next day, woke up, had no feeling from the neck down. Took about an hour or 2 for feeling to come back. And that carried on for about 6 weeks. I worked at a gym, and everybody I talked to was like, oh, it's just probably a pinched nerve. Play it off. Finally got in to see a doctor. Got an x-ray, came back clean. Next step was an MRI. Got an MRI. Was told, okay, you'll get results the next week. 3 hours later, I'm being rushed to a ER, and more MRIs followed that day. And then the following Monday, that happened on a Friday. So the following Monday, I was officially diagnosed with MS.
Wow.
And yeah, complete surprise. Thought it was just a pinched nerve.
Yeah. And it turned out to be something life-changing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Changed my whole life in the blink of an eye.
So that would be 12 years that you've had MS.
Yep. October
Coming
21st.
Up on 12 years.
Yep. October 21st, 2013.
Was your diagnosis, but the first symptoms of it was in August?
First symptoms started probably in the end of August, early September.
Okay. Yeah. So this games will be a huge milestone for you in your journey.
Yeah.
What's it like being someone who's had MS for 12 years? I mean, that's, a third of your life. You've now lived with this, with this disability.
Yeah. It was definitely something I thought about. So May 30th is World MS Day, every year. And I was working out on that day, and I remember I had a burpee workout, and just remembered wow, last time, for the first time I ever did CrossFit, the first workout I did had burpees in it. And it was just going from there to now, then to now. And 12 years later, it's shocking. It's shocking what, taking care of yourself, healthy diet, faith, putting yourself around good people, and a active, healthy lifestyle can do for you.
Yeah. When was your first CrossFit workout?
First CrossFit workout was January of 2015.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So you were 2.5 years in on your diagnosis.
About a year and a half.
Yeah.
Had kind of a little dark phase after my diagnosis. I grew up an athlete, grew up very competitive.
Okay.
Played sports. I lived in Colorado, so I was very active all the time. And then my first neurologist was pretty doom and gloom. It's no, you can't really do anything outside anymore. Can't work out, can't exercise, can't play sports. And that hit me hard. Ended up getting a different neurologist 2 months after I was diagnosed, who was a lot more positive, a lot more yeah, you can live a normal life, man. Do whatever you want to do. But the words from the first neurologist are already set in and taken its toll. And so it took a few months to kind of reset and be okay, yeah, I can live an active life. And then I was in grad school, and one of my friends in the class was hey, I own a CrossFit gym. Have you ever heard about it? You ever tried it?
Yeah.
Come on in, take a free class, see what it's all about. And rest is history.
So what was it like in that year and a half between, because you said you had one neurologist, a second neurologist, but the words of that first neurologist that I can't remember you've said this time or when we talked the first time, which is hey, your life is not going to be the same. Right. Yeah. And you're not going to be able to do the things you want to do. That first neurologist said that to you. Yep. How long did it take you for those tapes to stop playing in your head of that voice?
Oh gosh. Probably close to a year. Really getting on a actual good medication.
Yeah.
The first medication I was on, it was called Tecfidera. It was a pill. And there was a lot of mental side effects,
like brain fog or depression or
depression.
Okay.
Depression. I was very, very depressed for a very long time, and it took a while for that to kind of phase out of my system. And it wasn't really until I had finally met with that doctor a couple times. Got put on good medication, hey, here's what you need to do as far as diet. I had started going back to the gym, started getting active again. But it was still it still felt like there was a cloud looming over my head. You still have MS. You're still in this box. You are limited at what you can do.
Yeah.
And then January 2015 is when I finally poked my toe outside of the box and was like, okay, CrossFit, I can do this. Like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. And I would imagine your metaphor of the box is really actually perfect to describe a lot of my experience and probably a lot of other adaptive athletes' experience. For you, I imagine that box before your diagnosis was pretty big. And after your diagnosis, it got tiny. And your work in the last 12 years has been expanding that box.
Yep.
Where would you say that box is relative to where it was pre-diagnosis?
Oh, man. I mean, pre-diagnosis, I almost played football in college. If I didn't injure my shoulder in high school, I would have played football in college. So I was fairly strong, fairly athletic. But now I think I am in better overall shape as far as like cardiovascular, and muscular endurance, that kind of thing goes. Before I was definitely a lot stronger. Didn't have like effects of, if I were to go upside down, I wouldn't have gotten vertigo. Now I get vertigo, I get headaches. It's similar. It's very similar, but it's not quite as big. Yeah. But there's very few things that I can't do now that I couldn't do before I was diagnosed.
Yeah, and hearing you talk about it now, it doesn't sound like it's a comparison. It doesn't sound like it's a bad comparison, right? Where you're like, you have regret. Yeah, there's this beautiful kind of, I don't want this to sound cliche, but acceptance of okay, the box just looks different.
Yep.
But it's got, gosh darn it, just as much volume, if not more in it than the old one.
100%, man. 100%. It's kind of a different outlook. I don't know of too many people who will say this, but I truly believe that me being diagnosed with MS was a blessing. Looking back at the time, I didn't see it that way. At the time, I saw it more as a punishment, more as kind of a curse. Now it's a blessing because of the life I live now, because of my MS, of the people I've met, of the things I do. It's all because of MS. So it's a blessing to me now.
Yeah. And I think I remember you said something to me at the 2024 games, and it stuck with me kind of because I didn't quite agree with it. The idea that like God would give somebody a disability for, to raise a platform, to kind of give them a place to show what's possible. And I'm not sure if I still necessarily agree with it, but what I do think is true in it, for me at least, is I always saw my CP as an annoyance, as something that was like, it built up resentment within me, right? Okay. It was this festering thing within me that on days where I felt like crap, maybe it wasn't even because of the MS. Maybe it was because of something else in life. I always had this little resentment chip on my shoulder that like, it's because of that freaking MS or that freaking CP, and I would just carry it as this thing that I held on to as this thorn. And now I'm getting biblical, but like this thorn that would kind of bug me all the time. Yeah. But I think what I've seen through expanding, what my abilities are and getting to meet people in the adaptive community is it is a gift for being able to make really immediate connections with people, not only within the community, but what I'm hoping to do at some point is make connections with people outside of our community, kids in my local community who were born with CP, who can look to me as someone that, and I'm sure you've met kids and other young adults who are diagnosed with MS, and you're able to be like, hey, this isn't the end. This can be the beginning of something totally new. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Being able to have people approach me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram, like, hey, I just got diagnosed, or have friends, people I don't even really know, like, hey, I have a friend who was just diagnosed with MS. Would you be able to talk to her or like provide some tips or like, just sit down and listen to her? And it's like, before I wouldn't be able to do that, but now it's like, what's her phone number, or give her my phone number? How can I help? Yeah. What do you need from me? Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome. That's awesome. I hope there's people listening to this who are like, who have had a similar experience to what we're both having, where this disability that we were either born with or got later in life went from being this thing that, as you said, was like a cloud hanging over your head, or for me was sort of this just resentment that I held deep inside of me, to become something that's healthier and more life-giving to our community around us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely.
Cool, man. Hey, let's talk about some competitive CrossFit stuff.
Okay.
So you've been so 24, where did you place on the podium?
24, I placed third.
Let's go. What about, what are you aiming for this year? Do you have any goals this year?
Well, I took second in semis. I was in second by 10 points. So I think it's going to be a pretty tight race. But if I have to be honest, I'm definitely shooting for that gold medal this year.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dude, you crushed it in semis. I remember your Isabel time was fantastic. Your scores on most of them were really good. Yeah,
and you can talk to Leslie about this. There's a couple, like my Isabel time. It was towards the end of semifinals, so people had submitted their scores already, and my coach and I, mainly my coach, made an educated decision. Like, hey, you don't need to go red line on this. Like, just get through it, put in a good score. You're gonna be fine. The goal is not to win semis. The goal is not to win semis. When you're at the semi stage, the goal is to be in the top 10 to advance to the games. And so that's what I had to keep reminding myself. I'm a very competitive person at heart, so I had to keep reminding myself, just got to make top 10. Just got to make top 10. First place at semifinals. You don't get a trophy. No one's going to remember this come September. Like, just move past it, move on. So made top 10. Made my goal.
Yeah. And then I think the cherry on top is second, because that's just not a litmus test, but kind of a barometer check for where you are versus the field. If you're not peaking for semis and you're still, sitting in second, and I'm not trying to puff you up here, but I'm genuinely I'm excited to see what you do in Vegas. Cause I just think it's going to be a great competition, but I'm excited to see what you do there.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about Vegas. I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited for the 2 floors.
Yeah. And then there's going to be weightlifting going on next to us or something like that.
Yes. It's a masters weightlifting. So they're going to have powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, and then adaptive will have weightlifting as well.
Wow. What if there's an event where they make us all go up on the stage and do
give me a singlet and I'll jump up there, man. I am all over that.
But can we still have weight classes, please?
Oh, I would love that. I would love that.
That'd be so much fun. Yeah, man, a singlet. That would be just what if it was a singlet that just said Wheelwood on it and had Kevin Ogar's face?
I'd do it.
I'd wear it.
Yeah.
I'd wear it to the gym.
I'd wear it to the gym. I'd wear it during competition all 3 days. I'd wear it every single workout. Just, hey, you gave me this. Now you're going to have to enjoy watching me work out in this.
We're watching a gentleman do wall balls in a singlet. It's beautiful.
Yeah. See every curve.
There it is.
All my curves and edges.
All right, I got to change the subject. So you've mentioned your coach a couple of times. Who's your coach? What's his name?
His name's John Wood.
Awesome. And how long have you been working with him?
3 years. About 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you just get connected with him because he was at your gym, or how'd you guys find each other?
So I had actually joined his gym in January of 2022. And I was on my own programming. I think I was following Mayhem at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of doing some more weightlifting kind of stuff. And then the whole CrossFit not disabled enough debacle happened.
Oh, that happened to you?
Yep.
You got caught up in that?
Yep.
I'm sorry, dude.
I got told I wasn't disabled enough, and I was just like, that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. And then 2023 rolled around. Again, same story. You're not disabled enough. Like, sorry. A friend suggested, like, hey, I found this wheel wad WIWAD games, and it looks like they have a neuromuscular division. Like, do you want to check that out? So I did qualifiers on my own programming. No, he still wasn't my coach at this time. And he still wasn't my coach, but he had watched me do these qualifiers, and he's like, yeah, dude, we got like, hey, if you want to join in, like, I'll coach you. And I kind of was like, nah, like, I don't really, I was kind of being stubborn again. It's kind of the general theme in my life, kind of with my diagnosis. Like, I don't really need a coach, And then got through the qualifiers. And about a month later, I was like, okay, like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do.
And so how does he coach you specifically as you're thinking about competitive CrossFit? Maybe if you want to paint us a picture for kind of, without giving away the farm, but kind of how he encouraged you towards maybe the 23 games or the 24 games. What does he do as a coach of an adaptive athlete to help you succeed?
So that was going to the games was always my goal. I always wanted to go to the games. That's kind of how I approached him. I was like, all right, dude, like, you can be my coach, but my goal is to go to the games. Like, get me to the games. Help me get to the games. As far as his approach with me, I am a sprinter. I go 0 to 100 as soon as that 3, 2, 1 goes, or I should say, at least I used to be. He's really helped me dial it back. So, I used to take every workout, every piece, everything, just go 100%, gung ho. And he's really been like, no, like, this one's supposed to be an easy pace. This is supposed to be a moderate pace. Okay, this one's supposed to be hard. And then he's really had to, like, kind of, it's kind of like a horse. You put the reins on a horse, and he's kind of like had to pull on the reins a little bit and be like, okay, I don't need you to go 100% every day. Yeah. Like, it's okay to have a moderate day. It's okay to have an easy day. And he's been very open. Like, there'll be times where I'm like, with MS, like, oh man, like, my back is killing me, or, oh, I didn't sleep good last night, or something like that. And there's always the freedom. Like, I can decrease the paces. I can decrease amount of reps, just lower it down. Yeah. Not so much where I'm like destroying the workout, but enough to where I'm still keeping the stimulus.
So you guys are able to communicate about, like, your current situation with MS, how you're feeling that day. Yep. And he makes adjustments on the fly. But it also sounded like earlier you were saying he's kind of almost adding like gearing to your engine, kind of giving you the ability to not just come right out and go full throttle, but actually be able to, what does it look like to be at this level, this level, this level?
Yep. That's the one thing. I think that's the one thing in the last 3 years that I have improved the most on is my pacing. My pacing. Because it used to not just be one speed. There was one speed and just go, and then I would die about one round into the workout. And then, like, Kevin Ogard, just hold on for dear life.
Right, which is so different for us as neuro athletes, because if we go out too hot, and I mean, I don't know what it's like to be able-bodied and go out too hot. It looks like it still sucks, but it really sucks for us because you're not going to really take 5 deep breaths and get your heart rate back down or regain that sensation in your legs or whatever you need. And I assume that John helps you with that kind of stuff too, right?
Yeah, he gets, in a nice way, he gets, he doesn't like when I crash too much. Yeah. Because I do have a tendency, like I will go to the point of crashing. And just like the other day, he's like, this is either a 3-round workout or a 4-round workout. If you get through round 3 and you feel like you're going to crash, stop. Don't do round 4. And so sure enough, I got done with round 3 and I'm like, like I probably could do 4 rounds, but I most likely will crash at the end of that. So called it a 3.
Yeah. And he tries to keep you away from that, to keep your training as balanced as possible, to get as much out of you. Right. But I assume when you're in competition, you guys flirt with that line a little bit more.
Yeah. I like to, once during comp, you call that game day, really. And that's pretty much, reins are off and you're full go. Mm-hmm. Granted, you're still staying within the same work capacity. Like you don't want to come out on like a 20-minute AMRAP and go guns a-blazing for the first 3 minutes.
Right.
Because then you still got 17 minutes to go. But, being smart, executing, staying within the game plan.
Yeah, I felt like last year's games, the one workout that really had me nervous was that first one where we knew the time domain was going to be somewhere in the, 16 to 20 minute range.
Yes.
That big cardio one. That was and especially outside, that was the one where I was like, ooh, we're going to have to be really careful. It felt like the other 6 were kind of, you just need one gear and it's go.
Yeah.
It's go.
Just go.
But I'm looking forward to the programming this year, hopefully having a little bit more length, some workouts where you really can choose, okay,
right.
Am I going to keep it in third gear for the first, 5 minutes of this thing and then pick it up? You were at Wadapalooza, I think in 2025. Were you there in 25 as well?
Yeah. So I went in 24 and 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in 25, I think I saw you post something that you crashed out in one of the workouts or had a neuro crash in one of the workouts in 25.
Yep. Very last workout.
What was it? Oh, very last workout. Good timing.
Yeah. I won the first 5 workouts and then just, okay, cool. Well, now you're not going to win this one.
Yeah. What about it caused you to crash out?
I think it was the elevation changes.
Okay.
Elevation changes. And not only that, I had been going for the last 3 days, just going super hard. You're in Miami. It's in the Miami heat. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, it was January, so it wasn't that hot, but still it's humid.
Yeah. You don't train in humidity, right? I mean, where are you at? South Carolina?
Well, now I'm in Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach. Okay. Yeah.
So I've been training in humidity. Let me tell you, holy crap. But no, I think it was just MS being MS.
Okay.
And, I did really well in the first, extremely well in the first 5 workouts, and then burpees and toes to bar, and it was like, nope.
Oh, because was it like burpees and then you would jump up on the rig and have to do toes to bar and just kind of that vibe of jumping and then falling and.
Yep. So it started with toes to bar. Then you did 20 shoulder to overhead, and then 20 burpees, 20 shoulder to overhead, and then 20 toes to bar. And by the time I got done with that second set of 20 shoulder to overhead, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel good. And so I'm walking to the rig and I'm like, boy, I don't know how I'm going to get through these 20 toes to bar right now.
Yeah.
And it was just, I think my body was just tired. It was done.
Mm-hmm. When you were fatigued and getting close to crashing out, did you do toes to bar under that fatigue? And what was your body feeling during that? Like, could you sense what your body was doing in space as you were bringing your toes up to the rig and using your lats to press back on the bar? Like, did you have a sense for any of that, or were you just kind of?
No, at that point, it's really just muscle memory.
Yeah.
Because I've done it so much in training and I'm just going through it. But then what comes with that is I could feel my grip. My grip was just gone. Like holding onto the bar, I had to switch to singles towards the end of it, just because I had no more grip left.
Yeah.
And like I said, MS just being MS. Neuro fatigue had set in. I'd had a long weekend.
Yeah. Was John with you at that event?
Yeah. So they competed. John and his fiancee Zoe, they competed in the elite division.
Okay. Wow.
And a couple other, then one other guy we were staying with competed in the elite division. We're all friends. So
yeah. So he was coaching you on when you were doing that.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I could hear him like yelling at me to switch to singles earlier on, but being the stubborn athlete I am, I'm like, oh no, I'll be fine. I could rip off a set of 5.
Wait, you're stubborn?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, dude. Can we go to a lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
Dude, all right. What are you obsessed with right now?
What am I obsessed with right now?
And it can't be training.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. Emily Carnes said that, and I was like, nope, that doesn't count.
Oh, gosh. Okay, it's probably my diet. my diet,
Okay.
my food intake.
We were talking about that a little bit the last time, like, because you're 6'2", right?
Yep.
I'm 6'2", 195. You're 6'2",
230.
Yeah. I mean, you have to eat so many calories. How do you do it?
I don't stop eating. I don't stop eating. I wake up, I drink my coffee, eat my banana. About 2-3 hours later, it's my oatmeal. 2-3 hours later, it's my oatmeal, or not my oatmeal, my lunch. 2-3 hours later, I'm eating my pre-workout snack, my protein shake, and my other banana. Then after my workout, protein shake and yogurt. Then I eat my dinner, which is usually either chicken rice or beef and rice.
Okay.
With some broccoli. And then before I go to bed, I eat some rice cakes with almond butter and honey.
Wow. Dude, I love it. I love it. I'm envious.
I love eating. So I just like the reason I joke with people, I'm like, the reason I do CrossFit is really because I like food so much. And if I don't do CrossFit, I'm not going to be able to eat because I'm going to get huge.
Yeah. So I've been trying to figure out something that I can make for myself that my kids do not want to eat, because when I make the food that I like, they just eat the leftovers. And so then I'm like, oh crap, I have no food. So I'm trying to like come up with like a cold pasta salad or something that I'm like, they would not like that at all. But something that just has like a ton of carbs, ton of fat. I can throw, some sort of protein in there, whatever I want. And just something though that I can like store away at work, in a fridge at work. They can never get to it, and it's all mine.
Dude, fruit smoothie.
Okay.
Fruit smoothie, and add some spinach or kale to it to turn it green. They'll stay away.
Ah, there it is. Okay.
They'll stay away.
It's the color thing. I like it.
It's like, oh, Dad, you're drinking that green thing. Ew.
And I'm like, yeah, guys, it's totally gross. You don't want any of it. All right. What is your favorite movement to be programmed in a workout?
Favorite movement? Got to say a clean or a dumbbell snatch. Okay. Really, anything with a dumbbell or a barbell. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I'll even do devil's press. Like anything that involves weight, I'm on board.
You're there. What's your 1 rep max clean, if you don't mind sharing?
I did 275 at a comp in November of 2024. Last November.
Yeah. Very good.
And some say it was a squat clean. I'm kind of leaning to where it was a power clean, but whatever.
Okay. Technicalities.
Yeah.
What's one goal that you have outside of fitness?
Oh boy. This is kind of going to dip into faith here, but be a good disciple of God. Just be faithful. Not only to God and Jesus, but in the Bible it says to be a good husband, be a good father. And I hope to be that, provide that one day.
Yeah. Kind of doing that work now to kind of put the foundation in place.
Absolutely.
With habits and mindset and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I didn't have, part of it goes into kind of going back to my childhood, and this is probably going to be a little bit too deep. I didn't have a dad growing up. I never met my biological father.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to, it's again, the competitive, almost stubbornness in me is like, okay, well, I didn't have a dad, so damn it, I'm going to be the best damn dad for my kids, like that I can be.
Yeah.
Like just be a good dad, give them what I didn't have.
Yeah. And it's like, it's no joke that it's hard being a guy, let alone being a dad.
Yeah.
It's hard there's not good models out there, language out there right now for what healthy masculinity looks like. Yep. So I think if you're finding that through your faith, dude, keep after it. Yeah. Awesome. All right, I got one last question for you. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. If you've got control of Spotify in the gym and you're by yourself, what are we listening to?
Oh man, some people are going to hate this question, but we are listening it's either going to be heavy metal.
Okay.
Or divorced dad rock.
I love it.
Some Nickelback, some Creed, 3 Doors Down. I can get down.
Dude.
I can get down.
I went through a Nickelback phase. Did everybody go through a Nickelback phase? Please tell me I'm not alone.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, Photograph is one of the best songs ever
so
made.
Good.
Yeah. And then Creed.
Why did it felt like Nickelback? So it felt like Creed is doing like Jesus-y divorced dad music, but Nickelback was just like, I'm just a straight up divorced dad. But like every song, even if I'm trying to be like heartfelt, I still have to be like super grungy about it, right? Like it wasn't like, look at this photograph. It was like, look at this photograph. You know, it was like, I'm really angry.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I am when I work out. Like I'm not like. There's two different people in my head. There's Josh outside of the gym, and then there's Josh in the gym during a workout. Outside of a workout, if I'm in the gym, just like walking back and forth, so whatever, I'm fine. But if I'm actively working out or like training on something, it's you're probably not going to get a very nice response from me.
There's Josh on the floor and there's Josh off the floor.
Yep. And if I do something bad, or if I perform poorly, it's going to recommend you keep your distance for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds afterwards.
Yeah. All right. Good to know. All right, dude. I got 2 last questions. These aren't lightning rounds. You don't have to blitz through these or anything like that.
All right.
If there's someone listening to this podcast who's new to adaptive fitness and they're trying to find their place in adaptive CrossFit, what would you tell them to encourage them?
It's going to make this easy. Just show up.
Mm-hmm.
Just show up. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to hit a certain weight. You don't have to do a certain movement. Just show up. Literally walk in the door. That is the easiest. Actually, not the easiest. That's the hardest thing probably to do. Is just showing up.
Yeah.
Because you show up, the coaches, the community, everybody else, it's going to take care of you from there. And then once you're there, adapt as you go. Figure it out. Figure out what your body can do, what your mind can do. But you have to show up. Give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
I guarantee you 100% promise you that you will be surprised at what you can do and what you can achieve if you just give yourself a chance. Believe in yourself, have some faith, show up to that gym, try it out.
Yeah. And just like we were saying towards the top of the episode, like if someone wanted to reach out to you for advice on getting started, you'd be an open book, right?
Oh, dude, I would talk their ear off. I'd give them my email, my personal cell phone number, hit me up on Instagram, whatever it is. However I can help you realize that you're capable of doing this. I mean, if I can do it, if I can go from 12 years ago where I was at, walking around with a cane, to now competing in the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
You can do it. Trust me. I guarantee you can do it. And there's other people out there. Like, I'm like, if that person can do it, why can't you? Look at them. They're doing it. What's holding you back?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just give yourself a chance. Like, and if I can open that door for you, by all means, after you, ma'am, go right on in, or sir, whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Last question. If you could, so we were just talking to the person who wanted to try out CrossFit as an adaptive athlete, but if you could go back and talk to a younger version of yourself,
Ooh.
I know, maybe that guy 12 years ago who'd just gotten the diagnosis, or maybe before then, who was thinking he was going to be a football player, what would you tell that guy?
Again, going to fall back on faith here. Trust him. Trust him. After I was diagnosed, I got kind of into, like I said, a lot of questions, thought it was a punishment, in a sense, almost became angry, not with myself, but more so angry with the Lord, with God. And, in the last couple years or so, I've really just leaned into him and really trusted him. And if I could go back to 23-year-old Josh, 24-year-old Josh, I would just say, trust him. trust him.
Yeah.
You have no idea what is in store for you. But let me tell you, if you just trust him, it'll all work out. I promise you. Trust him.
Yeah. That's cool. Do you wish you'd found that sooner?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
It was a missing piece for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've always been my own worst critic. I've always been very hard on myself. And having MS and not being able to do the things I wanted to do led to me beating myself up even more. So creating that deeper and deeper rut and kind of going away from my faith, from my religion. And looking back, I think if I would have stayed in that more or like looked up a little bit more, I wouldn't have gotten as dark as my life got.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Josh, thanks for that witness to the work that faith has done in your life. And I hope somebody listening to this, maybe has experienced something similar and reaches out to you to just say that, like, we need to hear that sometimes more often than not, you know?
Of course, man.
So Josh, thanks so much for being on the podcast, man.
Anytime. Thank you for having me, Matt. It's been awesome. Welcome, I really appreciate it. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I will see you soon in Vegas, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I don't mean to tell you this, but 8 weeks, brother. 8 weeks.
Let's go. Let's go. What's 8 weeks? We got this.
8 weeks, son.
Excited, dude. It's going to be great.
Yes, sir. I'll see you soon.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
Later, brother.
Bye. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast. I appreciated Josh's vulnerability and his honesty about how hard it is to live with a disease like MS. And I hope that any of you listening who might need some encouragement, reach out to Josh. You know, he's an open book and he's willing to talk to anybody who needs encouragement or support as they're dealing with changes in their lives or figuring out what it might mean to compete in adaptive CrossFit. You can connect with Josh via Instagram. His handle is in the show notes down below. You can also listen to prior episodes, rate and review the podcast, maybe even subscribe to the podcast so you get these episodes downloaded directly into your feed. Follow us on Instagram at the Adaptive Athlete Pod and leave us a review and invite others to check out this podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Matt Hotho, and I'll see you guys next time.